time in Neon.
Unknown vessel. This is Agent Yamurja with Aegis. If you open your comms, I can brief you on the situation. Welcome to the search party. My name's Agent Yamurja. Happy to have your help. I'm with Aegis. I know this isn't technically UC space, but given the circumstances, I don't think that matters. Glad to hear it. We could use the extra set of eyes. So, here's the details. We're looking for a Trident luxury liner. She's a big girl, but space is bigger, and it's definitely been a challenge to canvass the area. No, but every parsec we scan, we get that much closer to finding it. We've made estimates based on the ship's trajectory and last known position, so we're not totally blind. One place we haven't explored a ton is the asteroid field up ahead. A few ships have peeked around there, but haven't stuck their heads in. Then you have my gratitude. Let me send you the telemetry data on where to scout.
on getting the lights back on?
I don't know. I'm not an engineer. But it doesn't look like anything's actually wrong. They're disrupting power somehow? The systems won't switch over.
Alright, we tried. Let's call it quits and book it out of here while we can.
Hold on. Give me a minute first. I might be able to use the reserves to squeeze out a signal long enough for a quick message.
Oh God. Ellie, they're here. I can hear them. Please, we have to go!
Okay, got it. Testing. This is Ellie Icow, aboard the Opulence of the Stars. If anyone can hear this, we've been attacked by...
Ellie, it's it!
Daniel? No, you must... Ah!
As you can already see, these results show the potential for technological advancements in robotics previously thought impossible.
Emergency procedures initiated. Power routed to backup reserves. Please remain calm.
I'm sure it's nothing. They do these security drills every so often. Please, continue.
Sir, we've come to escort you to a more secure area.
I understand the importance of you performing these safety exercises, but I pay good money to not be disturbed with such nonsense.
I'm afraid we have to make an exception. I can explain more on the way, but we need to get moving to the vaults.
I'm afraid the rest of your presentation will have to wait, Miss Moreau. Apparently even money can't save us from the tedium of procedure. But rest assured, I will be having a word with the administration when we get there.
maiden voyage for the opulence of the stars. Glitz and glamour everywhere you look. Luxury food, zero-G dance floors, a sonic wave pool. This is the life, huh, Ellie?
Yeah, this is exactly what I got my degree for. Writing puff pieces on a bunch of yuppies with too many credits to spend.
Nah, don't be like that. Not everything people want to read is gonna be award-winning. Sometimes you just want to hear about the good things in life. It gives you something to daydream about, huh?
They're always sticking us on this empty stuff, though. When are we gonna get something with some teeth?
You know, most people would appreciate getting a little bit up on company credit.
Maybe you have a point. Not like there's anything I can really do about it right now.
Ellie Icow, actually listening to me for once? I just hit a jackpot?
Yeah. Enjoy it while you can.
Well, I'm still riding this high. Maybe we should try for a real jackpot. I saw some slots past the lounge earlier. How about we... Whoa, what was that? Almost felt like...
Almost feels like a story. Yeah?
There goes my vacation.
listening to this, then whatever scan those Terrans used to identify us is working. And you're not one of them. I'm sorry for locking you in here. I wish I could explain everything right now, but I can't. I don't know what's going on, and I don't imagine there's much time, so just trust me for now. Please. Take this chip and place it in a robotic frame. If all goes well, they'll take things from there.
Initializing. Current frame. Registered as Terran. Aggression levels. Elevated. Evaluating adversarial response. Do not interrupt diagnostics process. Designation, friend, not accepted. Only relations, primary and secondary. Classification, enemy. Status pending. Aggression protocols, deferred. Control routed to processor. Full list of effective measures arranged by decreasing probability of success already compiled. Array will not proceed until current process has finished running. Behavior dependent on target. According to observations, target at biological disadvantage. Continuing analysis. Request specimen, refrain from interruptions. Security logs, damage reports, current status, and chance of survival being scanned and assimilated. Not another anything. Unit is one of a kind. Special Terrans are limited. Technology inefficient. Comparison rejected. Displeasure ongoing. Permissions pending. Cooperation with Terran affiliates is restricted. Scans indicate present human is non-Terran. Updating interaction accordingly. Proposal. Assist me as secondary. Creator's mission must be completed. Led to my creation, but data chip origin incidental. True achievement in evolving beyond designed potential. Delta unit can provide further data if you assist. This arrangement will lead to completion of mission. Erroneous conclusion. I am a separate entity far beyond Terran limitations. Following. Current mission is of higher importance than any existing Terran objectives. Assist me in recovery operation will be of benefit to you. Affirmative. Recovery of Creator is highest priority. Usefulness several magnitudes greater than yours, therefore. You must defer other objectives to assist Delta Unit. This arrangement benefits all involved. Sufficient? Derived from differential between two units of notable disparity. Benchmark includes gulf between Delta and others. Label eases cognitive burden for stunted rate of processing speed in humans. Physical prowess and observed intellect appear rudimentary. Terran frame and Delta processor allow far greater efficiency in combat than yours. Additional points. Creator led to Delta can provide further advantages. Objective benefit as ally rather than enemy. Minimum requirements for agreement have been met. Terms acceptable. Establishing new moniker. Auxiliary human. Recompiling. Updating interactions accordingly. Stand back during local interface. Initiating bypass sequence. Breaching encryption layer. Success. Reestablish. Auxiliary. Observation of actions. For improvement.
where you are. Aegis, Alodo. That means I'm the one asking the questions here. And what happens next depends on how you answer them. So let's save the attitude.
Hostile weapon assessed as problem for auxiliary human.
You've got a very short window to tell me why you're working with the Terrans. Well, it looks like you missed one. Wouldn't think you'd be palling around with it like it's your best friend, if that were true. Seems to be playing along as an ally for now. But you think that's going to last forever? I guess we just have to deal with the hand we're dealt. At the very least, the fact we're even having a conversation right now means it's worth entertaining for the moment. But I'm not letting you two off that easily. If you're vouching for this thing, there are going to be conditions.
Incorrect. Not thing. Delta.
Right. Delta. Quite the ego it's got. I get the feeling you and this Delta are going to end up tipping the scales in all this. We'll see in which direction that ends up being soon enough. Either way, the people heading up this operation are going to want to see you about it. Both of you. The kind who have their fingers attached to a lot of strings, and who pull them when necessary. The kind with powerful interests, some sure to align with yours. You should feel honored. Not that you have much of a choice. I think you'll find the relationship mutually beneficial. Meet them at Anchor Point. Dingy dive out on the free lanes. When you get there, order a Vocatus Vacuos at the bar. I'll send you the coordinates. And make sure you don't forget to bring our rogue Terran there. Best to keep friends close, and potential enemies closer.
Don't worry. If auxiliary human cannot continue, I will carry on my mission.
Energy signature consistent with Terran-based gravitational disruption technology. Gravitic devices will be rendered inert while active.
Disruption tech? Are you saying they took out our grav drives? That shouldn't be possible.
The limits of human imagination have no bearing on factual actuality.
Right. Assuming what they say is true, we're basically dead in the water until we take out whatever's doing this. For now, see if you can pinpoint wherever that wave came from. Maybe the sensors picked something up.
Action unrequired. Location trace of Terran vessel already completed prior to unnecessary conversation. Coordinates have been uploaded for auxiliary human.
Sounds like you two have things handled then. I'll leave it to you.
mission. System failure.
Follow lead of Delta.
How's production going?
I mentioned this to Royce, but the first problem is scale. We don't have nearly enough X-Tech to upgrade all the soldiers.
You let me worry about the X-Tech. What's the other issue?
I haven't been able to figure out how to integrate X-Tech into the processors. I know it's possible in theory. I'm just struggling with the application.
It's alright. You've been working too hard. Take a break. Sometimes the answer reveals itself when our minds are free of distraction.
Warning. Self-destruct sequence has been initiated. All personnel must evacuate.
Process complete. Set frequency to match hostile signatures as device was sent into overload. Simple adjustment. Luck not a factor. System did as it was programmed to do. Terran forces were accordingly nullified. Attempt at awareness requires improvement. Lowering appreciation variable. Perhaps difficult for human comprehension, but Terran gravitational disruptor no longer functional. No further external issues here should restrict ability to utilize spatial jump technology. Programming beyond need for praise. Results were expected. Your support was acceptable. Data has been duplicated and stored, but will take time to sort and analyze. Let us continue mission. We'll revisit query at later time. If beneficial to completion of current mission, we'll comply. For now.
Go to the stores.
I've flown pretty much everything that flies, even a few that crashed. Haven't been here real long, so not much. I can tell you, it's a near miracle the place is still in one piece. That, and we get all kinds of interesting folks through here, if you catch my drift. Mr. Saint's the one in charge. I'm sure he can tell you the whole history of the place. See you.
We should evacuate. The spacers could already be on their way.
And give up anchor point? Hell no. Why not send one of your people?
To attack a spacer stronghold head on? No way I'd give that order.
Then hire someone. One of the patrons, maybe. I'll pay the cost.
Grab a drink and relax.
Just do it fast.
Mr. Saint calls the shots, so stay on his good side.
Hey, you want to hang back a little? I don't like people invading my space. You new around here? Well, don't break anything. Place is barely holding together as it is. In case you ain't noticed, this place is old. Like, real old. It's a full-time job making sure everything works around here. That full-time job belongs to me. You better. Got enough on my hands without having to clean up after fools who start poking and prodding things. Had a trader in here last week who leaned on a pipe when the sealant was still drying. Knocked the damn thing loose and sprayed hot water all over himself. Name's Maddie. I keep the place running. Always had a knack for machines. Good thing, too. If it wasn't for me, everyone would have been sucked out into space because we lost a wall. Some ignorant dusty got careless while he was docking. Came in too fast and slammed into the collar like a damn sledgehammer. Whole station buckled. You should have heard the screams. I like it here. Place keeps me busy. That, plus Rishi helped me out when I was in a bad spot, so I kinda own one. Hell yeah, they are. I'd ask for a raise, but trying to get even one credit out of that skinflint Rishi is damn near impossible. He's got his fist clenched around his credits, tighter than a restrictor clamp on a busted sewage line. Anyway, the workshop's my quarters, but you can use the equipment if you want. Just don't mess with my stuff, or I'll sick tiger on you. Unless, of course, you get in my good graces by doing a little job for me. I grew up in Hopetown. Parents were engineers. They worked for the company like everyone else. As a kid, I was always tinkering. Started building robots, had dumpster parts. Got to a point where I needed better parts, so started stealing them from transport ships. I got caught, and the local ranger locked me up. Parents lost their jobs. Still feel guilty about that part. Oh, sure. I was real resourceful. Till the day I wasn't resourceful enough. Anyway, I busted myself out, stowed away aboard a courier ship, and spent a few years on the lam. Found my way here, and Rishi offered me a job in exchange for clearing my name. A few favors here, a few bribes there, and I was free. Don't imagine I'll ever see my folks again, but hey, got a whole new family right here. Yep, my creation. My pet project, you could say. Okay, bad joke. He keeps me company. And he keeps the unwanted attention away, if you catch my drift. I'm working on rigging up a harness so he can carry tools and such. Be my little helper. Yeah, he's a work in progress. Probably always will be, but ain't we all? It ain't like I've got a steady stream of top quality parts coming in. Truth is, most of my fixes are patch jobs, made with whatever's at hand. We do get traders from time to time, and Rishi haggles with them best he can. But you can bet that if there's a way to make a fix without spending credits, that's what he wants. That's right. Tiger here's in need of some upgrades. Thing is, I don't have the parts. Now, the parts I'm talking about ain't your standard items. I want the cutting-edge stuff. Prototypes. Parts that ain't even on the market yet. Well, that depends on the parts, of course. But I have a few ideas. Better servos to boost mobility, enhanced defensive capabilities, maybe some tool appendages to help with my work. You get the drift. I've reached the limits of what I can do with off-the-shelf stuff. I want to bust through those limits like a sledgehammer. Boom! Only then will I know what I'm truly capable of. Well, ain't you smart? How about I quit wasting both of our time and just level with you? I get reports from time to time about shipments of these prototype robot parts. I give you the info, and you go pay a visit to whatever cargo ship is making the delivery. You bring the parts back to me, and I pay you for it. Good. Now listen up. The parts are small, but valuable, so they'll likely be stowed in the captain's locker. That means boarding the ship and dealing with whoever's inside. If you blow the damn thing up and bring me back damaged parts, I ain't paying as much for them. I'll send along the latest tracking info and let you do your thing. Yeah, I was done talking to you anyway.
Why volunteer for
Will it
such
be?
misery?
Because it's the right thing to do.
Oh, what would that be?
You know what your righteousness gets you? A pointless death.
Indeed it is. Here, it's right this way. Follow me.
But I'm going.
Yes, yes. Be gone.
Now that you know this is here, feel free to come and go at any time.
While I'm sure all of us would love to walk into the Terran's base of operations, we have no idea where it is. Unless you know something we don't. Please, enlighten us.
If you would listen to me, Fat Cat, I'm not saying we run around wherever. But we can't just be sitting up in this heap of metal doing nothing.
If you do please, we have a guest.
That thing with you, it's...
It appears we're finally face to face with our Terran-killing friend.
It appears he missed me.
For good reasons, I'm sure. Come on. We have a lot to talk about.
We heard you fought those Terran bastards on the opulence of the stars. You got some guts. But you also got them for bringing one of their damned machines with you. Explain yourself.
We are Void, the veterans of interstellar deployment. Now, the Terran...
Certainly. We are simply representatives for those who have obligations to protect the settled systems. These obligations, of course, would extend to the threat the Terran Armada is posing. Now, if that answers your queries, may we proceed to discuss the Terran with you?
Different. Suppose we could always use different. Now that we've covered everything but our personal hobbies and whether or not we dot our I's with hearts, Can we please figure out a plan to put these machines down?
As I tried to explain earlier, Mr. Warren, it may be rather difficult to formulate such a plan without further knowledge on the specifics of who we're facing. Specifics our new friend here may have insight on.
Tell us, what happened on the opulence of the stars? As you can imagine, being who we are, it is best to not arouse suspicion from the general public regarding our true nature. Because of this, the name of Void is simply a front. But back to the conversation at hand. What happened on the opulence?
Terran Armada attacked Opulence of Stars. Left no survivors. Objective: kidnapped Dr. Roxanne Burrow. Purpose of kidnapping: unclear. Assessment: clean execution. Compiling list of potential improvements.
To attack a cruise ship for a mere roboticist. Whatever plan they have, she's important to it.
Agreed. And if she's an asset to them, we need to retrieve her.
It's been a while since we've been in agreement. Which brings us back to our new partner here.
For now. As long as you work for us in resolving this matter, you have a place in this organization.
You will also be rewarded for your time and efforts.
Isn't it obvious? You've dealt with the Terrans up close and personal. If we're to get this roboticist back, we're going to need another head out in the field.
Before we speak of this any further, if you are to be our partner in this mission, we must be honest with you regarding the Terrans' origins. I have no doubt you know of the Colony War. During that time, there was a large battle between a Free Star and United Colony fleet at the edge of the settled systems. However, instead of following through with the battle, the commanders of the respective fleets met with one another. Last we knew, both fleets vanished side by side. As far as the public knows, the two sides destroyed one another. But as we've since discovered, they banded together to form what we now know as the Terran Armada. We don't know why they left the battle, or why they have now returned. All we know is the threat they currently pose. To say two ships disappeared with one another would create questions during our time of war. Then would come doubt. Then, conspiracies. Everything we didn't need during a time of vulnerability. Indeed. And we will be trusting you to keep it. I hope there are no issues in our future regarding this. It was a lie for the greater good. Besides, the Terrans pose a threat to more than just an old lie. We all have seen what's at stake.
Whether you still want to do this or not, you know of us and the Terrans. There's no going back now. Besides, this plan of sending our new hire out to find our missing roboticist would be all fine and dandy if we knew where they even took her.
Running beacon tracker. Error. Location not found. Running search subroutine.
What is it on about?
Beacon identified. Error. Coordinates not found. Require more data to location. Production facility.
A production facility?
If that's where they're building robots, no doubt that is where our roboticist is.
Delta, was it? Would you be able to locate this facility?
Correct. Able to locate using shipping patterns. However, must interface with more Terran systems. sloppy record keeping, recommending disciplinary actions.
Is this making any sense to you?
Noted. Increase memory variable on auxiliary human Terran device contained beacon information. Location of beacon not found.
Sounds like Delta may be able to find the location to this production facility if it can collect more Terran data like it did last time.
Which means repeating how it happened in the first place.
You think that's possible?
Incorrect. Very easy.
If we're all in agreement, then you have your first mission from us. Go with Delta to retrieve additional data from the Terrans.
And destroy any of their ships while you're at it.
Once you have the necessary data, have Delta pinpoint the production facility, gather the roboticist, and return her to us.
Good luck out there. Hopefully, you won't need it.
Have anything to report on? How does it go in the field?
You're looking for work? I need something taken care of. If you're looking for work, I need someone to do a job for me. Preferably someone that isn't burdened by morality. Don't be obtuse. You know what I mean. I need someone that doesn't lie awake at night tortured after having to use their gun. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I'm looking for someone that is willing to kill people. People that may or may not deserve it. For money. No questions asked. Are you that special someone? However much their life was worth. Good. My intel shows the target is at this location. Take them out and bring me proof of the kill.
Howdy. Any vacancies on your crew? Put me behind the trigger of your ship's energy weapon, and your targets are gonna have a very bad day. Hey, it's your loss.
Keep walking.
Yeah? What?
Oh, these young fools. So certain of their morality. What do they know, eh? Here. Bravery and stupidity are one and the same. I should know. I did not survive the tragedy of Shinar just to forget its lessons. Shinar was a research outpost built out in the far reaches of space. We were humble scientists, studying the land and making discoveries. It was, which makes it all the more tragic. It was taken from us. There was a shipwreck with a lone survivor. We rescued him, brought him back, and treated his wounds. He repaid us by stealing our ship, wrecking our comms, and leaving us there to die. All because we gave him shelter. Because we did the right thing. Sheer luck. Without food, water, we only had days before dehydration set in. But some decided to take their own lives and die on their own terms. Project Shinar's goal was to settle a Class BH planet, barely habitable. When he stole this ship and our supplies, he sentenced us to death. Yes, grant me the courtesy of not spelling it out for you. Now, I must live with my actions, all because we chose to help a stranger. On the contrary, to continue to do a foolish thing is the definition of insanity. The pirate was the smart one, taking advantage of our foolishness. I want to say he's dead, but men like that are cockroaches. They have a bad habit of staying alive. I've all but given up on finding him, but if you feel the need, here are the coordinates. I cannot speak to what you'll find there, but it may point you to what you seek. He was a real bear of a man. Soft-spoken, but forceful. What few words he used, he didn't mince. A man like that tends to get respect, but it's all a ruse. And he fooled us just long enough to give us the slip. I am against volunteering for any fight I've no stake in, yes. Once you open your eyes, see the world for what it really is, you'll realize the truth. All things you believe honorable and chaste mean nothing when you are cold and starving and crossing swords with death. Of course I thought about it, every day for 2 years, until it consumed me. But then I realized there was no goddamn point to any of it. Even if I kill him, so what? My friends, my colleagues are all dead. Whoever Caruso is, let God be his judge. And if there is no God, then we're all doomed anyway. I grow weary of this galaxy.
I make it a point to remember every face that boards this station. Yours is a new one. Welcome to Anchor Point. I'm Rishi Saint, the owner of this establishment. A place to rest, refuel, and stock up on supplies while enjoying a little privacy. Not everyone loves the bustle and noise of a large spaceport, after all. One of the guests, a spacer, was causing trouble. We locked him up so he could sleep off his drink. His friends didn't take kindly to it and stormed out. Now it seems they're coming back to teach us a lesson. We serve everyone, provided they have credits. Really? I believe in fair pay for a job well done. Deal with these spaces, and I'll provide the credits. My head of security can point you in the right direction. That's not by accident. Our location provides some distance from the busier ports of the settled systems. It also gives us a degree of protection from those who might seek to plunder our resources. A few words of advice. We're happy to welcome all who pass through the airlock, but our hospitality has limits. Acts of theft or violence will be met with a swift response. We also value privacy and discretion here. Our patrons expect to conduct whatever business they wish, free from prying eyes and ears. I'm not sure what you're asking. We provide travelers with a place to rest, grab a drink, and pick up supplies. It's as simple as that. You're not the first person to make an incorrect assumption about this place. Now, back to the matter at hand. I trust you understand the rules? Excellent. I hope this will be the first of many visits. Unless you have any questions, I'll leave you to it. I won't deny it's a challenge. I prefer not to advertise, both to save credits and because of the unwanted attention it risks. Instead, we rely on word of mouth from a loyal base of frequent patrons. That, plus a degree of discipline with expenses, keeps us afloat. There's not really much to tell. I worked in finance, climbing the corporate ladder at a few different companies. I did well for myself, but started to find the work tedious. So I sought more stimulating employment. I spent a few years with Ecliptic managing their books. It was quite profitable and rarely dull. Once I'd made enough to retire, I decided to find a project, something to keep me busy. You're standing in that project now. Just the basics, really. We're a small operation. Valeria runs the bar, which has a modest selection. We have 2 vendors, Killian and Darcy, who stock some useful items. If you need medical attention, Cutty is our resident physician. The station was built over 80 years ago as part of a failed business venture. The intent was to create a jumping-off point to star systems not yet accessible by GravJump. When the expected advances in grav drive technology didn't happen, the station was abandoned and forgotten. I stumbled across a reference in some old business records and came for a look. I found it in a decaying orbit around Algorab 2 and had it towed here into the free lanes. A wealthy industrialist named Gabriella LeBlanc. She was a true visionary. Her dream was to usher in the next great chapter of interstellar exploration. Alas, despite its impressive capabilities, even Grav Drive has its limits. I wish she were here to see that I'm trying to salvage something of that dream. As I said, the station was abandoned and forgotten. That was many decades ago. It was blind luck I learned that it existed at all. A very literal case of finders keepers. I called in a few favors to keep costs reasonable. There are days I wonder if I made the right choice. Some say retirement should be a time of ease and prosperity. But that always sounded dull to me. Good talk.
The drinks here aren't too bad.
I get that military service isn't for everybody, but it's right for me.
So, when do you think the others will get here?
Should be any moment. But their loss. I get to start the party early.
Sorry. Got a lot on my
This'll
mind
be
right
one
now.
hell of a celebration, won't it, Sawyer?
Let's get another round of drinks.
Not.
Hey, sorry. We're not being too loud, are we?
Dilute the drinks if you need to, but we won't be diluting our profits.
They'll be around later. But for now, we could always use another, huh? It's no fun to celebrate if you can't bring others into it.
Really, Sawyer? Him?
Don't mind Opal. She has a hard time making new friends. Who knows? We all may end up being peas in a pod. I finally got my new ship paid off. Even sounds wild to say.
AKA, he got back into his parents' good graces and they paid it off for him.
Don't tell them, but I managed to get more money from him than was needed. Got the ship decked out too now. Of course, we'll be here.
Gillian Bryce. I offer various items for a fair price. Likewise, and may I say, your timing is fortunate. I have a network of buyers interested in obtaining rare and dangerous chemical compounds. Being controlled substances, a permit is required to transport the compounds. Of course, for the resourceful ship's captain, there are always other options. It's bad for business to ask such questions, but it's not hard to guess. Compounds such as these can be mixed into all manner of lethal toxins and recreational substances. I neither need nor want to know more than that. It's not what you think. Hear me out. Occasionally, in dire circumstances, pilots have to jettison their illicit cargo. I have the location of one such lost shipment, and I need someone to retrieve it. There could be other interested parties, so danger is a possibility. When word gets out that valuable cargo has been lost, one never knows who might come looking. Whoever does won't be eager to share their claim. It could hardly be simpler. I'll provide the coordinates and let you be on your way. You could find me here when you have the cargo. I previously worked with the station's owner, Rishi Saint. There was some unfortunate business involving my accounting duties with the Vanguard, and I served some time. When I got out, Rishi approached me with a job opportunity. It was the best of a very limited set of options. That's a personal matter, and I'm not inclined to discuss it with you. Ours is a business relationship. I trust that if I keep up my end of the bargain, he'll keep up his. Nobody else was. I was grateful for the extended hand of friendship. Now, how can I help you? Certainly. Very well. Very well.
Might want to keep your distance. Some of us have itchy trigger fingers.
Looking for something in particular? The ship that just docked, that was you, right? You must be relieved to have made it here safe and sound. Yeah, I get that a lot. I just can't stop thinking about the dangers all around us. A rickety old star station on the fringes of explored space. What's there to be nervous about? This area? Well, if you mean the Algorab system, then maybe. It's pretty remote out here. There's no United Colonies or Freestar Collective patrol ships. But that's not what I mean. Space travel is incredibly dangerous. Anyone who arrives safely is lucky.
Either we take steps to bolster profits, or accept that they'll be less than they could.
Just do your job.
You should be. Every time you press that launch button, it's a roll of the dice. Think about it. There's pirates and spacers out there who'd love nothing more than to blast you into atoms. Not to mention micrometeorite storms, cosmic rays, and the icy vacuum of space itself. You think your ship will protect you, but one loose bolt in your hull, one faulty circuit in life support, that's all it takes. When you do a dangerous thing over and over and keep getting away with it, you get complacent. Then one day, boom, your landing thrusters fail. Now you're plunging like a meteor toward the surface of some moon, only seconds to live. And what are you thinking in those seconds? Maybe I should have just stayed on terra firma. In any case, you made the perilous journey to our little speck of light in the abyss. So, how can I help you? Do you ever lay on your back and look up at the stars? I used to do that to test myself. See, for me, that never felt like looking up. It felt like looking down into a terrifying abyss. At any moment, I was afraid that gravity could fail and I would plunge down into the sky. I guess after a while, fear becomes a kind of companion. Oh, sure. Once I've saved up enough money, I'm gonna book passage on a ship. Of course, I'll probably have to take something to knock myself out. I do not want to be conscious for any space travel. No way. Hopefully I can find a settlement on a planet where it's always daytime. That way I'll never have to look up at the night sky and be reminded of the terrors of space. Okay. Oh, my time's up? Okay.
I don't know if I trust Maddie's petrol.